In 1987, Garfield the cartoon debuted and has been circulating ever since. For those who don't know, it features a cat named Garfield who lives with his owner John Arbuckle and Odie, a good-hearted yet dim-witted slobbery dog. The comic makes light of Garfield's daily adventures, coining his key personality traits of being lazy, hating Mondays, and enjoying large amounts of lasagna. For the most part, the comic is lived out in childish humor. However, there are a few instances where the creator Jim Davis took a dark turn in order to provoke deep thought in his audience. In 1989, a Garfield strip released that illustrated the cat waking up to find himself in an abandoned house, cold and alone. This is the comic strip, where we read on progressing through 5 days of loneliness until Garfield screams out in denial, causing his owner to reappear and ending his suffering. The last panel of the comic reads, "An imagination is a powerful tool. It can tint memories of the past, shape perceptions of the present, or paint a future so vivid that it can entice, or terrify, all depending on how we conduct ourselves today." This comic began a whisper of fan theories, stating that Garfield's life is not the happy adventures involving his owner and dog companion, but rather that he's just an abandoned cat who's dying and suffering from delusions. In an interview, Jim Davis explains that he wanted to illustrate something scary for Halloween, and ghosts are not scary. He asked his audience what they were most afraid of, and a majority of the responses were simple: loneliness. Garfield His 9 Lives is a 1984 book of illustrated short stories showing the 9 lives of Garfield. The book is divided into 10 segments, the first displaying the creation of cats in general, where the latter 9 reveals events in Garfield's 9 lives. Each of the 9 stories has a short preface of Garfield in his modern reincarnation, explaining how these various lives shapes aspects of Garfield's personality, such as the origin of his fear of the veterinarian, his love for destructive behavior, his proclivity for a slothful lifestyle, and his extremely playful side. Primal Self was the 7th story in this collection, and the most disturbing. An orange house cat by the name of Tigger meets an ancient primal, dangerous, possibly evil force, causing him to revert to an entirely feral state. It's unclear whether Tigger is corrupted by the primal force, or if his spirit is cast back into prehistory and stranded there, while the primal essence steals his body in the present day. The story ends with him preparing to attack his unsuspecting owner, an elderly woman, and it's strongly suggested that he kills his owner afterwards. Garfield is shown to be terrified by the events in this life. He's depicted cowering under a blanket in his commentary of it, remarking that this life taught him that there are many elements in a cat that are not to be toyed with.